Greetings! Hey guys, today I'm going to be reviewing the second film in the Friday the 13th franchise. That's right, Friday the 13th Part 2. Again, it's going to be hard to review this film seeing as most people know the general plotline, but I'll give my best shot. Again, I have to warn you, there may most likely be spoilers present in this video. So if you're one of those sheltered individuals who hasn't yet seen the film and doesn't want it to be spoiled for them, if you haven't seen this film yet, I shouldn't say you're sheltered. You just haven't experienced life yet. Please skip to the final seconds of my review so you can catch my score. It's a 1981 film of approximately 86 minutes in length, and it's directed by Steve Miner. Steve Miner would return later to direct Friday the 13th Part 3, and I think he also directed Halloween H2O 20 years later, Lake Placid, and the 2008 remake of Day of the Dead. Steve Miner also worked on different seasons of multiple TV shows such as Smallville, Eureka, Switched at Birth, and Psych. So quite a background, multiple projects under his belt. So did he succeed at this one? Yes. I would have to say Friday the 13th Part 2 is better than the original Friday the 13th for multiple reasons. Basically a larger, more likable cast of characters, therefore larger body count, more blood and gore, and, need I say it, you finally get to see Jason without his mask. And he's actually the killer this time. Now by mask I don't mean the iconic hockey mask that everybody knows him for. I hear he obtains the hockey mask in the next film, Part 3. Jason spends the majority of this film with a bag over his head instead. He unveils his features at the end of the film, though I'll get more into that moment later on in this review. Mrs. Voorhees, the killer of the first film, is now dead, but you still get to see her in this film. Her decapitated head anyways. The story in this film is supposed to take place around 5 years after the events of the first, and during that time, Jason Voorhees has grown up, he's living on the premises of Camp Crystal Lake in a ramshackle hut-type structure, and he has his mom's head on a table in this room of his shack, set up like a shrine or something. Very odd and somewhat disturbing. So you can somewhat imagine his anger when a group of counselors start camping at a site right next to Camp Crystal Lake. And I say I'm somewhat understanding because, quite frankly, I'm not a psychopath who hoards the decapitated heads of my family members. And one of those moments when I especially sympathized with Jason was when one of the last remaining counselors by the name of Ginny, she somehow convinced Jason that she was his mother reincarnated. That part was kind of confusing, but pretty interesting. I guess you could say it showed a softer side of Jason. As I said, the body count is higher, and in my opinion, the deaths are even better. Some of my favorites would have to include the double impale with a spear, when the officer is killed with that, hammer. Crazy Ralph, that nut from the first film, yeah, he returns in this film, and he's actually killed with barbed wire. I was somewhat pleased to see him go. I mean, he would keep on telling the counselors that they were doomed, which I guess they were, so he was right, but still, he's annoying. He even goes so far as to follow them to the camp, and he's spying on them. And finally, my favorite kill would probably have to be when that guy in the wheelchair is hit with the machete, then he rolls backward and falls down this huge flight of stairs. It sounds sadistic, me saying that, but hey, admit it. The reason you're watching these slasher films is to see the deaths. One point, I didn't really understand this film. Well, one of the counselors brought a dog by the name of Muffin, I think. I think it was a Shih Tzu. But that's besides the point. In one scene of the film, you see what looks like a mangled corpse of Muffin, the dog. And then later on you find out Muffin is alive. So, please explain to me, what was that dead body you saw earlier? There's one part towards the end of the film, the final battle so to speak. It's a pretty startling part, when Jason bursts through the window to grab Ginny and he doesn't have the bag over his face so you see his deformed features. That part is in slow motion, so you really get to have a good look at Jason. It's kind of weird because he has this beard, he kind of looks like a mountain man. I mean, he's been living by himself in the woods for the past couple years, so it's, I guess, expected. But in that scene, when Jason bursts through the window of that cabin, there's three beings in the room at that point. Ginny, the one guy who's with Ginny, I forget his name, and Muffin, who's found to be alive. So now just concentrating on Ginny and Paul. Muffin I don't really care about. Ginny wakes up at the end in an ambulance, so you know she's somewhat okay, but what about Paul? You never find out. Is he alive? Is he dead? Your guess is as good as mine. So I guess that adds to the intrigue. An even better question, where's Jason? I guess the viewer is supposed to believe he's alive and on the prowl? Anywho, that ending, full of many questions, a really great transition into another sequel, part 3. With that being said, I would have to give Friday the 13th Part 2 a 5.5 out of 5. If you're new to my videos, just know that anything, be it book or movie, that's rated over a 5 out of 5, it's highly cherished. So I highly recommend you check it out. As always, please...
Please like, comment, and subscribe if you like what you're seeing. I do hope to see Friday the 13th Part 3 3D relatively soon, but not necessarily my next review. So please stay tuned here on my channel. Who knows what I'll review next?
Bye.